Hello, guys. Welcome back to our channel. We are here with our next weekly podcast, and today we'll be discussing men's mental health with you guys. Uh, this is a tribute. This podcast is a tribute to the late actor Sushant Singh Rajput, and this podcast is to spread awareness that how important mental health is, and especially men's mental health, which isn't talked about much in our society. So via this podcast, I would like to spread the message that it's okay to feel things. To all the men, to all the boys out there, it's okay to feel things. It's okay to acknowledge your feelings, and it is very important you to do that because it is an attribute of human. Like, why would have it been given to us if we aren't supposed to show it or manifest it, right? So I hope that this podcast adds some value to your life and mm, change your point of view towards this to a certain extent. So I would like to welcome my guest today. She's a bachelor's in psychology from Symbiosis University, Pune, and she's pursuing master's in psychology in Modern Arts and Science College from Pune itself. And I'm very happy to add this that her mother is a psychotherapist and she is changing lives of people for some time now, and they are really helping this society and adding some value to this society by contributing what they can contribute. So yes, I'm very happy to welcome her on this platform with us. So I hope you all guys like it, and don't forget to comment on this video. If you like it, please post your kind comments. I am really happy and grateful that I have such an audience. So let me know how you like it. We'll just go right into it. Welcome, Ria, to our platform. We are very
Hi,
happy to
Janish.
have you here. And to
Thank you
the
so much.
audience, we both would be talking about men's mental health today. I know it is very important. Men aren't generally inclined to, express their feelings and all in our society. So we would be discussing that and how can we amend the situation, how can we ameliorate the situation in our society. So I think Ria would be of great help, and with her knowledge in psychology, she can give us some good points to consider. So Ria, are you ready? Shall we start with this?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. And definitely, this is a topic of interest to me as well, being a psychology student and budding psychologist. So, yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
sure. We are very happy to have you here. So let's start. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Ria, my very first question to you is psychology is something not that prominent in our society. So, what is your story about it? So, did you just stumbled upon it, or were you always passionate about studying psychology?
Well, actually, so it happened that I had decided to take up arts after my 10th anyway.
Hmm.
So I went there and I took up psychology as one of the subjects out of the 6 subjects that we had to take. And when I went and looked for books and stuff, so I got really inclined because it has a very greater good kind of it had a very greater good kind of an impression on me,
Hmm.
because psychology is something that you can apply to your life and you can promote it through spreading awareness about mental health, because mental health is so important.
Yeah.
It affects our physical health, it affects our moods, it affects our emotions, and it affects others as well. Even in our family, if you are sad, then it affects the mood of your family
Yeah.
members and everything. So it is something that if we can manage our
Yeah.
emotions, if we can manage our thoughts well, then it would be of greater good to not just you but to others as well. So that thought provoked me to take up psychology. And another thing being that my mom is a psychotherapist herself. So I have seen her help clients get out of their problems, help them, manage their lives better. and help them. So I think that that feeling of helping someone else, it comes naturally to me. So I took
Yeah.
up psychology because I thought that was the best way to go about it.
Mm. Amazing. So, do you think that psychology would be really, a boom in our society in the coming era? Because the generations, as we are going ahead, the generations are getting more susceptible, more fragile towards, emotional weakness. So they are, like research has proved that they are getting emotionally weak day by day, right? So,
Right.
how important do you think is psychology or to be a psychologist in this modern?
I would say, it's a really easy, this is the easiest way to say this. As important it is for everyone to go reach out to a doctor when you have a
Mm.
fever or when you have
Yeah.
a cough. It's as simple to go to a psychologist and get help for any emotional issues, mental issues, or any issues that you have. It's as
Mm.
important
Yeah.
because even now we feel that I'm not feeling well physically, so you would
Mm.
be concerned, you would be like, even now in COVID situation,
Yeah.
even if you cough a little, you were like, okay, let's go to a doctor. So it's that sensitive in COVID situation. As you would go cough, you should go to a psychotherapist, psychiatrist, or
Mm.
a counselor. If you feel low, if you're feeling moody lately, if you're
Yeah.
not able to manage your emotions, if you are having outbursts,
Mm.
it's as simple to go to a therapist as you go to a doctor, would be
Mm.
my answer.
Great, great. So today would be talking about men's mental health, right? So we
Right.
all know that it's a fact that men aren't that uh, men do not generally express themselves as freely as women do in general, right? So
Yeah.
why do you think that men's mental health is overlooked in our society?
Well, the first and primary reason that pops in my head is gender roles and gender stereotypes that we have.
Mm.
So we always think of gender stereotypes as being against women, but
Yeah.
we forget sometimes that it's also against men.
Mm.
That men, so when you think about women and issues, if you think issues regarding women, we will always think there will be some emotional issues. So
Yeah.
this is a stereotype. But
Mm.
when we say that there's some issue about men, we never say that men have such emotional issues, men have
Yeah.
some such mental health issues. That never comes up. What
Mm.
comes up is maybe alcoholism, substance abuse,
Mm.
some kind of aggressive behavior when it
Mm.
comes to behavioral issues. But
Yeah.
we don't realize that these are because of their emotional issues and because of their mental health issues. They're just seeking a path through substance abuse, seeking a path through aggressive behavior.
Mm.
So I think that's the major thing that comes to my mind when we say that why men's mental health is overlooked. And second, the most important and common reason is patriarchy.
Yeah.
We have been brought up like
Mm.
that. We have been told that men are supposed to be strong. Men are supposed to be,
Mm.
they're not supposed to cry. They are supposed to be not vulnerable to anything,
Mm.
because it's pre-established that men are not supposed to be like girls,
Mm. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And crying is something that girls do, men are
Mm.
not. So even if men seem to be vulnerable, they are overlooked because mm, even in friends we say क्या लड़कियों की तरह रो रहा
Yeah.
है,
Yeah.
like that. So that's the stereotype I'm talking about. That's the role I'm talking about.
Mm.
So I think that's the most important aspect why it's overlooked. We just seem to be like men men are not supposed to come in that
Yeah.
area where it's like their mental health is an issue.
Yeah.
ऐसा कुछ
Definitely.
होता नहीं है. That's
Uh,
what is believed.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why.
Great, great. And talking about this, like as you told, that men's mental health is overlooked because it's the patriarchy, it's what is pre-established in our society, right? So one
Yeah.
of the major reason, according to me, is the influential industries that we follow when we grow up. For
Right.
example, let's take Bollywood, right? Bollywood has always uh, has a benchmark that hero is always going to be one with less expressions and the one saving the day, and then women would be a little sensitive and in home and talking about emotions, crying, everything. So I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that these
Absolutely.
industries have really hindered with the mentality of our society. So what do you think, how eligible this claim is?
I absolutely agree with you. A better word than hindered would be promoted, is what I think. That
Yeah.
I believe that small dialogues like मर्द को कभी दर्द नहीं होता
Yeah.
or something like that. Like from that time it
Hmm.
started. If it would have been like अरे मर्द को भी दर्द होता है भाई, क्योंकि वो भी इंसानी है. So these such dialogues. Recently there was a film Dabang where Salman Khan had said a dialogue कि प्यार से दे रहा हूँ रख लो वरना मार के भी दे सकते हैं. So what is this promoting? It's promoting aggressive behavior on the part of the man. That man has the supreme authority to do what he wants to do. Now here the woman is always looked down as a suppressed one. But because of such dialogues, men are what happens is that they're like ये दिखा भी ऐसा रहे तो हम भी ऐसा करेंगे. So that gets promoted. That gets promoted. And you remember the film Dar. So there's a song तू है मेरी किरण. So the entire thing goes like तू हाँ कर या ना कर तू है मेरी किरण. Right? So consent is not there. So men are the major issue, like major issue of consent is missing absolutely. So that's what gets promoted, and that's why young boys, adolescents, they start behaving like that because they get influenced by such things. So definitely Bollywood has a very, very big role in promoting gender stereotypes like these.
So how can we actually help these people who want to express themselves, but due to the orthodox thinking or the things we have been taught while we are growing up, they are suppressing their expressions, they are suppressing their feelings, what they are actually feeling, right? So what do you think would be the best advice for people out there listening to this so that they can at least open up to someone? What would you suggest?
The first suggestion I would give is that as a friend, you can be very non-judgmental. Let's be very honest. I have so many guy friends around me of our generation. And I've asked them so many times, like, what do you guys talk when you are like, on sleepovers or when you are just hanging around? What do you guys talk about? Do you guys talk about your emotions, your feelings and everything? And the first answer I get is, no, not that. We play video games. We play this, we play that. So they are not very fond of talking about what they actually feel to the closest friends they have. And when I ask them why is that so, the answer is that boys don't do all this. So I think the first advice I would give is that, not advice, it's a suggestion, is that when you feel that a guy is feeling a bit emotionally unstable, vulnerable, you take the first step and ask the guy, is everything okay? Ghar pe sab theek hai? What happened? Are you feeling okay? Instead of asking, chal kuch aur karte hai. Let's go on a long drive, because that's escaping. That's making him avoid whatever the situation he's facing, and you just going ahead with it. So maybe be there for the person emotionally instead of just being there. Support him mentally. And if you feel that the person is not being able to cope with the situation or just able to talk to you, please suggest him, please ask him to go to a therapist or a counselor, because sometimes what happens is that more than friends, therapists can help you with a wider perspective because they have the resources and the qualifications to do that.
Definitely.
So I think that would be a better option. So firstly, try to understand what's going on in their head. Secondly, if it's not in your area to do that, just ask them to go for a therapist. You can of course suggest that to do that, but you can spread awareness.
Definitely, I agree to you. And is it because of this suppression of emotions, the suppression of feelings, they are actually going and like most of them are inclined towards drugs, alcohol? And is that the reason, because of that they are taking these substances to escape the actual reality, to escape what they are actually feeling? So do you think that's the reason?
Absolutely. This might be one of the reasons, of course, because they don't have another outlet. So if we provide that outlet, the percentage of people going towards alcoholism or substance abuse, drug abuse would be obviously lesser.
Yeah.
There was a recent study that I read where it showed that men are 50% less likely to seek help with issues related to depression or anxiety than women are.
Mm.
So that's the ratio we are looking at.
Mm-hmm.
So if we provide a non-judgmental open outlet to them,
Mm.
they'll obviously not require anything else.
Mm.
They can just communicate, and they can be, maybe not think of drugs, not
Mm.
think of alcohol. Of course addictions comes as a later part.
Yeah.
But people who are just starting up, can of course they can be helped with initially, is what I think.
So how can I know, as an individual who haven't studied psychology or anything, how can I know that someone is going through depression or anxiety or anything? Are there any specifics which we need to look while we are talking to an individual or anything like that?
Well, I think first of all, we should not wait for a person to reach that stage where we start realizing now that
Mm-hmm.
he has been going through depression, or he or she has been facing anxiety.
Yeah.
So if you start feeling that some of your friends are not contacting you enough, they're being aloof,
Mm.
their daily functioning is being affected, they want to be, alone, lonely. These might be the signs of depression. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
the diagnosis will be done by the clinical psychologist,
Yeah.
but these are some of the symptoms. So, yeah, you can definitely suggest or ask the parents of the concerned friend to, take him to a psychologist or a counselor to begin
Mm.
with. And for anxiety, I would say that if a person is having regular outbursts, is having panic attacks, is being very hyper around you,
Mm-hmm.
which he or she was not doing before, of
Mm-hmm.
course.
Mm.
So you can be like, okay, chalo, let's go to a therapist. Maybe you need some help.
Yeah.
And, the way you talk to the person should be also very casual, because the
Mm.
person might resist a lot.
Yeah.
That, मुझे कुछ नहीं हुआ, I am okay. That's
Yeah.
not a
Yeah. Yeah.
problem.
Mm.
You tell the other person, उसकी वजह से I'm feeling like this.
Mm.
So that resistance, if you want to cut that resistance, maybe you can be like, it's okay, I'm also going to a therapist. It's
Mm.
okay, she helps me a lot, he helps me a lot.
Mm.
I just go there, I talk my heart, feel better. Stuff like that, if you
Yeah.
say. And actually, this is a very, very big misconception, that you should go to a therapist or a counselor only when you have a problem. You
Mm.
can go to a therapist or a counselor when you feel like talking to someone and there is no one to talk to you around.
Yeah.
Maybe you're having some setbacks in your mind, some setbacks, emotional setbacks or mental setbacks, and you don't know how to cope with it. Just go to a therapist and she'll help you.
Yeah.
It's for
Yeah.
your own benefit. That's
Mm.
about it.
That's great. That's great. And do you think that there are any other reasons why men usually suppress their feelings? According to me, if you ask me, that is parental upbringing first, because we are always told कि क्या लड़कियों जैसे behave कर रहा है, तेको pink color क्यों पसंद है? Why are you inclined towards things that girls like? So we aren't expressing ourselves because of what we are taught from the very beginning, right? So do you think that plays a very important role, a very pivotal role in one's life?
Absolutely. I think that parental upbringing, in general, upbringing in childhood plays a very important role, because sometimes what happens is that parents are sometimes very open-minded,
Yeah.
but still societal pressure is there.
Hmm.
Let me give you a very small example which you will see everywhere.
Yeah.
Men are usually supposed to be the man of the house, right?
Mhm.
So what happens is the pressure of being the man of the
Yeah.
house is so much that they don't have an outlet to even express what they really want to do in life. For example, you tell me, will you accept a person or a friend who is telling you, I want to become a artist,
Hmm.
and you know that there might not be a stable income for me,
Hmm.
but I want to become. So what will be the first reaction? लेकिन पैसे नहीं मिलते यार उसमें बहुत, मत कर. Hobby के जैसे ठीक. Hey, that's our first reaction when a
Yeah.
man says that I become something I really want to become,
Hmm.
but it might not be give me a stable income.
Yeah.
But when women say that I want to become an artist, everyone is so happy and encouraging. Please go ahead.
Yeah.
She's so good. She's so graceful and everything. So that's the basic kind of stuff I'm looking for. And it's like it's the question that we have to ask ourselves. Will I be okay if someone in my life, if a man in my life really wants to do something without a stable income? And us as women, will we be okay with men being around us or choosing a partner who doesn't have a stable income? Because girls also have a problem with this, that वो ज़्यादा कमाता नहीं है or something like that. So such gender stereotypes, so these are gender roles, not even stereotypes. This is the gender role that I'll say. So this promotes that amount of pressure that यहाँ से separation start होता है. That I am not being able to do what I really want to do in life is the first step towards, suppressing your first desire, or getting inspired to do something. You have to cut down your inspiration and go by the societal rules. So even if your parents are open-minded, just let you be. So that's where the pressure builds up and it goes on.
Definitely.
So I think that's the one of the major root causes. And the second point is what I think is that men are supposed to be emotionally strong. Men are supposed to be emotionally not vulnerable. So men are said that लड़कियों की तरह क्यों रो रहे हो? That is offensive to guys and girls. Right. So something like that. So these statements are thrown by around us all the time, and subconsciously we start feeling those things, and we come up. It gets suppressed, and that's why it goes towards not seeking out help, because we are not supposed to seek out help, because men don't need help. Men are always viewed as the support of someone, but we never realize that men also need support. Men also have emotions that they need to share with someone. As simple as that.
Amazing. And talking about you, Ria, I have read your bio and everything of Instagram. Your whole purpose is to spread kindness and make this society a better place, right? So I wasn't stalking you, but I did my research.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel that even with men's mental health, when we talk about men's mental health, men are not supposed to be kind. They are supposed to be rough and tough. They're supposed to be strong, and they're portrayed always as being the as big and muscular. But men can be kind by heart. We always portray their hearts as also being as their bodies, is what I feel. If you get what I'm saying. So men can be kind, and we have to be kind to them also. So I think it's a two-way process, and spreading kindness everywhere, we need it right now. We absolutely need that thing.
Definitely. So compassion is something really important. Empathy is something we should be really aware about. And talking about you, what are your aims? What are your goals from psychology? Like after doing psychology, what are your hopes and dreams?
I think I hope to spread, first of all, awareness about mental health, the importance of seeking mental health, and reaching out to people who need mental health interventions. Second, I'm a big believer of healing and therapy. So I think my goal is to spread the importance of having therapy also. Not just when you have a problem, but when you also don't have any problem, because you don't have to go to a therapist just when you have a problem. So spreading awareness about seeking help when you need it, and it is always need help. So you should go and seek therapy. So my goal is to actually empower everyone around me who comes and reaches out to me, and while I empower myself. So I think I'm thinking of a greater good of the community when it comes to my life, and that's about it.
Amazing. It was really amazing talking to you, and those opinions and perspectives are really going to help the audience. I hope that this reaches out to the maximum people out there, and to all the men listening to this. Your emotions aren't your weakness. It's okay to feel something. It's okay to acknowledge that you are being sad. It's okay to feel that you are not emotionally stable right now at this point of time. It's okay to be who you
Absolutely,
are.
and it's
It's
okay
okay.
to cry. It's
It's okay.
okay to
Yeah.
cry. That's the best way to letting out your emotions, because
Emotions.
men are also humans, and men are also people who have emotions, who want to let them out. So just let them out, let them
Yeah.
free.
Yeah. And I hope that this spreads a lot of awareness in our society. We are trying our bit to spread mental awareness, and psychologists, upcoming psychologists like you, I am sure that there is a brighter future of our society. And I think that everyone would be enlightened by this and be aware of things that they should be aware of actually. So, Ria, it was really nice talking to
Absolutely.
you. And I
Thank you
hope
so much.
that this podcast helps a lot of men out there. And yeah, that's about it. All right.
I hope that that I helped some people, if not everyone, and I
Definitely.
hope that this has spread some awareness regarding mental health, importance of mental health in
Hmm.
everyone's lives,
Yeah.
especially in COVID. Everyone has been going through a lot,
Yeah.
and I hope this podcast reaches out to the maximum people, and they realize the importance of just being happy. And there are
Yeah.
other ways of being happy for men
Hmm.
also, other than
Yeah.
relying on some stuff and
Hmm.
not sharing their thoughts. So I think I'm grateful that you called me, and thank you so much for this opportunity, sharing my views and opinions on your podcast.
It was a pleasure, and I am sure that they are going to get a beautiful insight out of this, and they are going to learn a lot. And this must add values, some value to their lives. And I hope that it reaches out.
Likewise,
Oh,
absolutely.
great.